Plaintiff Sarah Kay met the defendant online, and she claims 2 months after they started dating, she moved him in. Soon after, Sarah claims she realized he wasn't working and instead played video games all day. She's suing her ex for a credit card bill. Defendant Michael Ryan says a month after he moved in with Sarah, they started sleeping in separate rooms and stopped having sex. Michael claims he felt more like Sarah's roommate than her boyfriend, so he broke up with her. He's countersuing for unreturned property.
Start with you.
Okay. So I met Michael in December of 2011 on a dating website. He seemed very friendly, and so we met up for coffee. Michael seemed very funny and lighthearted, so we got along really well at first. He even seemed really open. He told me about him not drinking, that he led me to believe he had a long term of sobriety. Being that my family is also recovering, I knew a lot about the program and about recovering individuals. After he moved in, about 2 months of dating.
2 months after meeting him, you moved him in.
Yes, Michael.
2 months after meeting him on the internet, you moved him in.
Yes. Michael was very convinced that I had a roommate who couldn't pay her rent.
That was the website name, movein.com. I think.
Right. Must have been. Go ahead.
So Michael moved in after encouraging me to kick another roommate out and essentially offering to help with that situation. So he moved in under the pretense that he would be helpful. After a few months, I realized that this is a huge mistake that I made on my part.
How so?
I realized that Michael really wasn't working on any type of recovery of any program of any sort. Michael did not have a regular job.
You didn't know that before you moved him in?
I was not aware that he wasn't working at all. I thought that he was working many hours in the morning a day.
Where?
From home, selling ink and toner as a middleman type business through the suppliers and the companies.
So when he moved in, he obviously brought in a bunch of equipment.
Brought in a laptop and a printer, sir.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
So after moving in, I realized that things aren't exactly the way I thought they were. I made a misjudgment. Michael seemed very lazy. He slept in late, which really threw my schedule off. He stayed up very late playing video games into, like, we're talking the 2 and 3 o'clock hour of the morning. So after a few months, we really started to argue, and we had very different ideas of what a routine and schedule should look like.
Was he paying rent?
No.
Had you asked him to?
No, I asked that he help with the bills and buy groceries.
That's it?
Yes.
That's a good deal. You got any more of those deals going around? Go ahead. How did a man move in with you and don't have to pay rent, huh? Go ahead.
Okay, so things got really bad. Michael and I broke up. He broke up with me in February of this year.
You're bigger fool than I thought you were. Go ahead. Go ahead. I know a lot of guys who want that deal. Yes, ma'am. What did he tell you he was breaking up for?
We had a difference of opinion on our lifestyles, so.
Tell me.
Michael didn't agree with how much I spent time away from the home. Pretty much, I work out quite a bit. I'm gone for work, and I'm out.
You were never home?
Never home, never.
That's why he had to play video games all the time. And you were never there. Let me hear from you, sir.
It was pole dancing. It was all pole dancing.
Who?
Her.
I'm
Not
sorry,
me.
Your Honor. This has nothing to really do with this lawsuit in general. It was fitness. I go to fitness classes where I hula hoop, and I happen to do some pole.
Okay, it's not a strip club, right?
No.
No. But after the pole dancing was the exercise swing in the living room. You know, right where I slept, because we no longer slept in the.
Quiet, let him finish.
We slept in separate rooms. I slept in the living room.
So she wasn't your girlfriend?
I basically felt like a roommate the whole time. You know, I couldn't live up to her standards.
Why did you all sleep in separate rooms?
I just wasn't attractive anymore.
When you moved in together, you all were sleeping in the same room?
For about a month.
He was up all night. That's why we didn't sleep in the same room. I couldn't handle the noise.
I heard you, and right. And you were working out. Go ahead.
I was taking care of my grandmother and get a call from my mom about Facebook pictures that were posted of her in spandex on a pole, and I didn't think it was really, I didn't want to be associated with that.
But was she in an exercise class in those pictures?
You can't really tell. It's just on a pole.
Go ahead, ma'am. What do you want to tell me you're suing him for with these credit card bills?
Okay, Your Honor, I made an agreement with Michael that he could use my credit card every month to make purchases for his at-home business, and then when he got paid by his customers, he was to pay the card in full every month.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the card was never paid back down. I gave it to him with a zero balance, and when he left, the card had a balance.
Did he
of
ever pay you anything?
He did make minimum payments.
How much? Minimal?
Minimal payments mostly.
Sir, what do you say to this?
There were payments that were much larger than minimum.
Okay.
The card was actually handed to me on my couch, and she specifically said, "Stop stressing out, use this for the business." That was it. We talked about it later, and I was just making payments here and there,
Why?
every month. I'm sorry?
Why were you making
To appease
payments?
her. Try and make her happy.
You don't think you owed money for the credit card that you used for your personal benefit?
While I was there, yeah.
Okay, so are there some charges that weren't for you that are on the credit card that she's suing you for?
Yeah.
Okay, you have the bill?
I do have the most current statement, Your Honor.
And you're saying all of them are his?
The only charge that's on the credit card that is myself was a Mary Kay charge, and I paid it in full the same month.
Yeah, I don't see the actual charges, ma'am. And now you're telling me there was something on the card that you charged. That a minute ago you told me they were all his charges.
I paid mine in full, that same, as soon as it hit the account.
No, but you said they were all his charges. You didn't say I paid mine in full when they hit the account.
Okay, I misspoke then, I'm sorry.
Including a vacation.
Ma'am, is there a vacation on here?
There may be charges from a vacation in which he took me on. It was his choice.
He didn't work. You knew he didn't work by then.
Even without the vacation, Your Honor, it's still over $5,000.
And the swing.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Whose traffic court tickets?
His.
Sir?
What's the amount?
LA Superior Court.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
$400.
Yeah.
Mary Kay, $240. Royal Imaging. Whose were those?
That's the vendor that I use the card for.
Royal Imaging, Royal Imaging, Royal Imaging, Royal Imaging. All right. Your counterclaim, sir, $1,600 is for what?
Property.
How does she owe you for that?
She never responded to let me pick it up after I'd moved my belongings out.
And what would she say?
I'm in a meeting.
Pardon me?
She would say, I'm in a meeting. She was busy. We'll talk about it later.
Ma'am?
He did text me during a meeting in which I was at work, and I told him he needed to make another time for it. Like, I was busy. He knew he was texting me during work hours.
That was about the fourth text.
It was only once?
I don't recall how many times he ever texted me, but he never made arrangements and gave me a time that he wanted to come and pick up his stuff. He's welcome to come get it tonight.
I offered to have somebody else pick it up.
You only recall him asking one time to come and get his things?
One time I remember him specifically directing it towards me for his
All
stuff.
right, I don't believe that. I don't believe this man only asked you one time for his things. And what items are they, sir?
Television, Nintendo gaming system.
Now you know he asked you more than once for that. For the video
Your
games,
Honor,
Doctor.
Your Honor, he did
That's
take
his
the
life,
Xbox.
by your own admission. That's his whole
He
life.
did take his Xbox with
Sitting
him,
up
sir.
there.
He happily took that Xbox. I promise
I took
you
the
that.
Xbox. I play the Xbox more.
Let me have your list, sir.
It was very similar to the last roommate of her keeping
Television.
this
You
up.
have his television, ma'am?
Yes, I do. He
Why'd
left it, and I haven't even moved it because I don't want to damage it.
Where is it?
It's in an office.
Where did you leave it?
In the office.
Had she asked for her credit card payments during this time?
After we had broken up, I was still making the payments.
Why?
because she would text me with a minimum payment, and I would go make the payment.
And you knew you owed
And
$5,000 for the plaintiff. He's finally admitting that he owes for the credit card. However, ma'am, I also think that you owe him for that property. So I'll give you 30 days, ma'am, to give him his property.
Okay.
If he doesn't get his property in 30 days, then you'll be ordered to pay in the alternate $1,600 that he's suing you for. In the meantime, $5,000 for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
There's your credit card.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I really hope you have a happy life somewhere wait for me.
I will be. Don't worry.
It's not pole dancing, it's pole fitness. I just work out to tone and tighten my body, which I have lost over 35 pounds doing. I highly recommend it to any woman who is wanting to look for confidence and looking to tone their body.